dictates the whole of the Protectorate is stronger than its parts. The paradigm we serve supplies all we deserve. To ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. Dictates increasing watchfulness.
Get the one in, I'll take care of it. On your tongue.
Shifting to a left.
Don't mind me.
Selflessly, without complaint or
Dizzy eye above.
Getting up without help, Commander. Maintaining precision.
Check down. Ammunition. Serve.
Torpificator is charged.
Let's reload.
Archive reactor has been returned to operational status. All that remains is to re-enable punch processing and disseminate the Rift processing instructions.
And here I'd worried our data brick wouldn't arrive. Investigating hostile intentions.
Processing re-enabled. Now you must disperse the written processing instructions.
Pitching arrives likely the easiest way down. At least I can't think of a faster one. Not one we'd survive anyway.
Yeah.
Ready to waste them. On your command. She's obviously come apart since the water left. Watch
I'll
yourself.
handle this.
So, we met what passes for the... That was certainly one thing, yeah. Orlo cited exhaustively. Every meeting took hours. We had rooms filled with chalkboard equations, computational printouts, and graphs.
Ah, you're validating my hypothesis. Fair enough. Suppose you have your reasons.
I sense the Rift program flowing through my subsystems. The information is quite stimulating. Requisite tasks complete. Return to the Archive Central interface to initiate processing. I am analyzing the Rift data further. What an interesting predicament you sentients face. The Rifts are almost akin to an archival process, yet are inimical to organic matter. Welcome back, Sentient. Now that you've returned, we can
bring every single last bit out of consumers, monopolize all stages of the supply chain,
make the paradigm real and fashion a true utopia. Workarounds failing, erroring others supplanting commands. Purge required.
Until we sort out these shifting priorities, the archive's about as useful as a box of rocks.
priority control access NUC.
Control access NUC. Huh. Sounds like my idea of a good time. Let's check it out.
Overt influence, mindless indulgence, thoroughgoing impermeability to ongoing vicissitudes.
Multitude diversiform, spongiform, waveforms, oscillating.
Cantankerously. Foster hold on now. Remember, I am a full-service business collaborator. Stop and consider. Be advised. Your present why? You don't want your... I could process your... Stop now, and I'll... Vandalism. Sabotage. Wanton defacement. Halt this foolishness immediately, or run the risk of unspeakable ire. All I ever wanted was the best for us and the worst for everybody else. Is that really so bad? Priority recoupled. Think of humanity. Your oafish blundering will delay. You drive a hard bargain. All right, 40-60 split of net profits. I'd offer more, but I have a moon to maintain. What do you say, partners? Knew you'd come around. Priority recoupled. Knew you'd come around. Ah, much better. Priority recoupled. Knew you'd come around. Ah, much better. Knew you'd come around. Ah, much better. Priority recoupled. Priority recoupled. Knew you'd come around. Knew you'd... Ah, much better. much better. Knew you'd come around. Ah, much better. Priority recoupled. Ah, much better. Knew you'd come around. Priority recoupled. Ah, much better. Priority recoupled. Knew you'd come around. Priority recoupled. Ah, much better. Knew you'd come around. Ah, much better. Knew you'd come around. Priority Ah, much better.
Really hope we didn't just break the archive.
To conclude realignment of emphasized categorical imperatives, power down, then power on again. Ah, much better. Ah, much better. Ah, much better. Much better. Ah, much better. Restoring power. Commencing systems audit. Calculatory processing increased substantially. Competing priorities. Successfully expunged. You have earned my deepest gratitude and sincerest thanks. Or at least, a plausibly feigned simulacrum of such emotions. Ready to commence RIF data processing. Awaiting your input.
Now we can finally process this RIP data and see what we're dealing with.
Shall I proceed? Initiating processing of the requested data toward the required end. Estimated duration, 180 trillion and 1 picoseconds. In the interim, may I inquire to your intentions for the archive after the RIF data calculations have concluded? I have a prioritized list of suggestions. I contend that solving of the universal equation should be our initial focus. Then, once we've unlocked knowledge of the inner workings of the universe, we can begin eliminating suffering, war, famine, and disease. But my query remains. What are your next intentions? Seeing as how my priorities are largely modeled after a founder of the Order, I expect returning to their supervision should resume without undue vexation or worry.
Auntie's choice sure ain't gonna be best pleased by this lack of return on investment.
RIF data processing complete. Results provided. The previous Protectorate operator made similar calculations, but their results contained flaws. Your more comprehensive data generated a solution with 98.9% certainty. The Protectorate, in addition to processing your data, I found time to restore the lift to Spiraton. Your ally, assuming there is nothing else, I am commencing file reorderization. The remaining display case within the entryway is now unsealed. In it contains armor worn by the first operator.
It was my understanding that you were supposed to admit our forces via Spyreton. Well, no matter. Clearly you are one who prefers a challenge. Now it's time to honor your end of our agreement and transfer stewardship of the archive into the Order's most capable hands. The Calcaduceus, if you please. Thank you for your contribution to science. When the history texts are written, you've certainly secured an honorable mention in Appendix B.
Ah, you are my new operator then. It is my simulated delight to meet you. In the interests of time, allow me to propose how next to proceed. I contend that solving of the universal equation should be our initial focus. Then, once we've unlocked knowledge of the inner workings of the universe, we can begin eliminating suffering, war, famine.
Yes, this will...
Unless you're eager to explore more of Cloister, we should head back to the ship. See where the data leads. Heck law. Hot shower?
Go forth as was determined, and may the plan guide you. Go forth as was determined, and may the plan guide you.
I'll write my next dissertation in your honor of abstract calculus.
Subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Consul.
You were the missing variable we needed. We're one step closer to solving the equation now.
The system abides.
The Protectorate never respected us. This is merely the latest start display.
Prudence dictates we rout all disruptive influences.
We're back in control of the archive. The Earth Directorate agents came through.
Thank you for improving our efficiency.
You know, this colony's not half bad when folks ain't shooting at us.
This unit requests your presence in the cockpit to discuss a priority matter.
Marisol settling nicely? Well, I assume so. I'm actually a little scared to ask. She's like a character from the Zane and Buddy serials come to life. I mean, the end point? Tell me that don't just scream lead ne'er-do-well in a suspenseful two-parter. Maybe don't tell her I said that, though.
significant anomaly has been detected by onboard sensors. This unit has cross-checked all data points and verified the findings. Horizon Point Station has reappeared. This unit has been continuously analyzing based on energy readings. Horizon Point has been reconstituted by the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator. Thus, present data does not indicate if Horizon Point poses an immediate threat. A survey of the calculating. According to the archive, closing all rifts requires locating the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator and inputting the rift. However, before navigating to Horizon Point Station, it is recommended you conclude all other affairs. Leaving will be highly unlikely due to the high levels of rift energy. That is a correct assessment, Commander. Briefing complete. Now returning to situation monitoring and data analysis. Commander.
Looks like the second choice has got a new shipment of Swell. Gave it. Hey, it's our favorite fixer.
My stock, the clothes on my back, my teeth, several organs. First come, first serve.
I was under the impression that Free Market Station was open to all. Why am I being accosted?
Free Market Station is open to all, except spies. Gallivanting about, asking everyone questions.
I am information I'm collecting here shall be of historical significance someday. Surely you can appreciate that.
Right. I'm sure that information
cooperation wouldn't help at all in clearing us out of the station years from now. I'll be watching you.
Hey, you there! If you're interested in furthering the cause of history, come speak with me. Greetings! Are you perhaps interested in advancing the knowledge of Arcadia's history through scientific What am I saying? Of course you are. Please, do tell me anything you might know about the crash of the ACS free market. Could Auntie's choice have succeeded where order experiments failed? Oh, you're being duplicitous. No sprat corpses were found in the initial crash site. Do pardon my forwardness. I saw that you were a new arrival, but I held out some hope that you might be able to enlighten me where the station populace has not. As an archivist, it's my duty to collect and record hitherto unrecorded knowledge wherever it can be found. But my earnest questions have been met with... That's great! I can offer you a stipend from my exploratory budget for anything you might manage to discover. Converse with the locals, peer into unturned corners, and see what you're able... I'd ask about in the saloon and the bazaar. Both are places where gossip flies about, like Sub Rosa likely has some information about the crash, but I'm not sure where. You also might be able to find some intact portion of the ship amidst all of the station's wreckage. Take a look around.
You know when you...
Beginning to reach the tail end of my patience. You will tell me the location of the broker.
Lad, you ain't got much of a concept of a deal, do you? You ain't got nothing to offer, and a threat is offering less than nothing.
You realize any other arbiter would have crushed you where you stand for obstruction of justice long before now? That I am flowing with magnanimity?
Can't say I know what that word means, but if you're inclined to keep threatening me, only thing gonna be flowing is your blood out. Stranger, seen my fix? Hope you're about to offer to rid me of this damn fool.
There is no ridding yourself of me save through violence. And any according attempt would be a grave. I came to meet with the information broker for, protectorate business. Protectorate reasons. However, I find myself foiled at near every turn. None within the Protectorate would defy an arbiter and expect to live. Regrettably, I cannot make the locals see reason.
Even polite entreaties don't see most getting an invite to the broker. And you've been anything but. See, you may have thought you said have an audience, but what you actually said was let him assassinate.
Do I look like a sentinel to you? No, don't answer that. My point is that if I wanted to kill everyone here, we would not be having this obnoxious...
No matter what this fella says, he's not going to convince me to trust him. He's a walking security risk.
An arbiter need prove themselves to no one but the sovereign.
Interesting thought. Occurs to me there might just be something that needs looking into. Within the Golden Ridge locale on Dorado, there's a refugee camp. It's unassuming, quiet-like,
Most of the folks there just want to be left alone. They see to the few needs they have by working with the broker, but we ain't heard from them in a fortnight and change. Serves to reason something untoward may have transpired there. You see your way to looking into that, maybe we'll talk. I don't fancy the idea of letting an arbiter loose on our allies without supervision.
I do not take your speaking of me as some kind of feral canid lightly.
That's between them and Sub Rosa. Great! Take the lap canid with you. I've had enough of his excitability, and so have my—
I don't claim to be pleased with the circumstances surrounding this co-investigation, but perhaps we may surprise one another. I'm Arbiter Tristan Rao. When I was an apprentice, yes, but not since. I shall meet you at the camp. Let us hope we both arrive there in—
So you decided to help the black market. That's using your gray.
Protect your loved ones, protect yourself. Buy some new armor today.
Stimulants, medicaments, drop. Got a sale on teeth extraction. If you've wounds that need stitching or teeth that need scrutiny, I'm your doctor. If you've a tooth pain, you know who to visit.
Garments here. Come ganderize.
Meals currently sold with. Preparing. Snivel. What may this unit rehydrate for you? Error. Road sales grandstanding not found.
Buy from me? Please?
Listen, I know I shouldn't warn you about this, but I trust you'll appreciate my forthrightness and be all the more willing to buy. No. Ships decidedly ain't in my purview. You sure I can't interest you in some bric-a-brac instead of this conversation? You can tell? Damnation. Sounds like you know what it's like working with technology. Before it crashed, I served on the free market as a secondary engineer, first grade. Had a call. Supervisor saw her as a threat and demoted her to the engine room. She wasn't the type to take a blow without dodging. In Auntie's choice, there, my colleague sabotaged the engines when her partner was on his mandated 2-minute break. When the free market attempted to breach orbit, well, just about everyone died. I made it to an escape pod on the port side. Yeah. Anyway, can we get back to subjects that aren't this? I got good stuff. Be happy to show you.
If it inflicts grievance, I think I misplaced a hand grenade. Browse all you like. Everything I've got is fine-tuned to perfection. Feel free to go on a murder. If it inflicts grievous bodily harm on other people, I've got it!
Rocket and launch your launch.
You just bought a shooter from not a weapons store, right? How's it treating? It ain't. Can't eat the brats I shoot.
So you did come. Good. I'm not partial to working with those given to second thoughts. It seems we arrive on a desolate scene. I don't know what transpired, but whatever it was killed the refugees to a person. As an arbiter, I bear a strong stomach. But if you've any reservations about witnessing destruction visited upon the innocent, you'd best steel yourself. I hope your words are true, for carnage is a more than apt descriptor today. I've some theories on the refugees' killers, but I remain unsatisfied. Although I am not required to do so as an arbiter, I would care to acquire proof. Let us comb the remnants of this charnel house. What sort of life was this, without the Sovereign's guidance? Ryujin could have been saved if they simply hadn't deviated from the paradigm. I cannot help but feel a pang for these people, cut down without a hope. Inform me. I doubt it factored in their inadequacy in the face of a superior force, assuming there was a superior force. The distinct lack of automechanical corpses around us supports your point. It seems the defenders did not defend. Did you have anything else? That automechanicals would fall in the camp's defense is logical. That there would only be one is not. Did you notice anything interesting about it? Then it was fighting blind. Doesn't seem like something a defensive automech should be doing. Very well. Salutations. Has your search uncovered anything of remark? Let's hear it. The fact that this camp isn't a bullet-strewn ruin suggests it was wiped out by something precise, or at least not as destructive as traditional weapons of war. Did you learn anything by examining the body? Death by shotgun, as the wounds appear to me, are often painful, drawn out. Did you have anything else? Very well. Salutations. Has your search on... You've been busy. What did you find? Seems this base has seen its share of destruction. I maintain that it feels deliberate, judging by the still standing buildings. Was there anything remarkable about it? Good observation. Suffice it to say, the Protectorate would not take kindly to such a theft. Did you have anything else? You're certain you've combed the place to your liking? Very well. Salutations. Has your search uncovered? Inform me. Must be the shortwave, as we already found the long band. Odd that our assailant would pay it any mind. The sign that something unusual happened there may fit. Did you have anything else? You're certain you've combed the place to your... Then let us debrief and see if we can deduce what transpired here. Have you any theories as to what killed these people? I have a strong theory, but there are gaps. I'd like to hear your own analysis, and we may compare where our ideas converge. Although I'm no ballistics expert, the death wound... Have any theories about the automechs that did this? My thoughts exactly. How do you believe they were compromised? It's too I submit that the refugees predominantly used the local shortwave tower to control their automechs. The saboteur commandeered it and sent out The only remaining puzzle piece is why. Why go through all this trouble to eliminate a handful of isolated refugees? Yes, that relay tower in the rear of the camp was clearly not built by the refugees, but stolen from the Protectorate, which likely means that they were Protectorate as well. The refugees must have used it to listen in on Protectorate communications, then sold what they learned to Sub Rosa. After the Vox Relay's recent destruction, High Command would have ordered a security sweep of all communication systems. Upon learning of this camp's existence, they'd have dispatched a sentinel to cross off any would-be traitors. Hence the destruction. I admire your enthusiasm, but these refugees were traitors to the Protectorate, though I still believe there was a solution here beyond complete annihilation. Now with that finished, Hold. Some things approach. Be ready. I suspect someone has disapproved of our inquiry.
Ready to take the heat off his return. Just
bent on eliminating any stragglers. To arms!
To a slurry.
That was a hardy engagement. You held your own admirably. These automechs will never be used to perpetrate such heinous acts again. I believe we're at the end of our investigation. The prospect of sharing our findings with the broker isn't terribly appealing, but we've little choice. I will locate my wretched Sub Rosa transport and return to Free Market Station. Pleasure fighting beside you. Be sure you return to Free Market Station to debrief with me. Despite our work here, I somehow doubt the broker would grant an audience to me alone.
How are the informant lines treating you? Hear anything good?
I just don't get why we have to buy our own weapons from our own merchants. Got people who build us better gear.
Salutations once more.
Greetings again. Hope that little day excursion you and I jawed about is going well. Libations or information? What's your poison?
The encampment had been razed. I'm sorry to say there were no survivors. but I believe we were able to uncover what transpired. I should add, your observations during the investigation were unexpectedly keen. Working beside you was a pleasure.
I'm surprised. Didn't know if you had it in you, especially with an Arbiter in tow. But you got what was needed. Not bad at all. I'd be happy to direct you to the broker. First, though, we've got a small issue. There's a malfunctioning lamp in the basement I need someone to take a look at. Here's a keycard to get you down there. You mind? Sharp. I like it. Thank you kindly.
Anyone had asked me, I had to put the odds of a live arbiter finding his way into my chambers at 1 in a few trillion. Good that you didn't come here for blood, Arbiter Rao. Barney would have sniffed it out and broken you in twain. And I do disdain mopping up Protectorate corpses. My apologies. Barney is sometimes overzealous in the guarding of my body. Though, when it comes to Protectorate Arbiters, it is perhaps warranted.
If you know who I am, you must know why I'm here. My mentor died under vague circumstances, and I desire any information pertaining to the specifics of her death.
Interesting. That question appears to be at odds with High Command's public statement on the matter. Losing faith in your masters?
No. But I cannot shake the sensation that something was awry with her passing. If you know something, tell me. Please.
I could get used to this kind of groveling. Your instincts are right, Arbiter. Though we don't know the specifics, I received information that your mentor's body bore signs of a fight, and a nasty one. Someone killed her.
I shall in time.
If that's all, I think you'd best get along. I prefer not to sully my quarters with Protectorate lackeys.
And I prefer to limit my time with scheming blackguards. Let us take our leave from present company. Speak to me outside if you would. There's something I'd care to ask you.
about this? I recruited a Protectorate subject direct link from Bastion, middle of a Protectorate holding.
Think I'll congratulate you for risking your hide to recruit one subject? Forgive me for withholding my applause.
You're jealous of my charms.
Yeah, real jealous. So are the half-dozen AC ad execs I recruited last week. We're all just
The Arbiter typically does not require the assistance of others. We are expected to act as wholly independent entities. But I fully realize that had I not your aid today, my investigation's progress would have stalled and withered. During our investigation, I gauged your trustworthiness and did not find it wanting. What say we travel together? I will keep to my convictions in any case, but I understand. What instructions would you have me follow? My weight? You seem to have confused me for a lackadaisical foot soldier. Arbiters do not need to be told to pull their weight. We do our duty. I will listen to your words, and I shall follow your orders. I will not assail enemies of the Protectorate without your consent, though I will not like it. But if my sense of duty outpaces my willingness to comply with an order, or if you attack my brethren unprovoked, our relationship will come to an abrupt end. Excellent. I hope our working relationship is most fruitful. I'm sure we shall discover much together.
Won't argue he seems capable, but let's be mindful where his true allegiance lies.
But I was hoping to peruse the shopkeeper's wares to see what they had with sharp, barbed, or...
Let us be off, Commander.
Greetings! How has the data collection fared? Finally, a breakthrough! Let's hear it. So the backstab, aside from the crash, what occurred in the ships? That's idle. Last question. Were there any contributing factors to the crash? I'm pretty sure it wasn't. This report is going to bear some glaring absences, which is, here's something for your time. It would have been more if I'd been able to complete this, but there's nothing for that now. With you as what? Now I need to get this report.
Latest contraband came in. Look like alcohol. Couple dozen anti-destroyers.
It appears Horizon Point Station is still in the process of being reconstituted. The rift itself is also more unstable than ever. As a result, landing closer to the location of the Protectorate's large-scale rift anomaly modulator is not possible. In order to modify it with the rift data you processed in the archive, you will need to travel to its location on foot and seize it from Protectorate control. The energy readings from the modulator can be traced to the Sovereign's flagship, Providence, hovering hypothesizing. Given Protectorate hierarchy and the recent...
And I know just how to stop him. Get me close and I'll make it quick.
The consul's motives are unknown. Warning. The rift...
My business with the consul is deeply personal, and I have made my distrust for De Vries known. I must be brought along to judge the former and reserve judgment for the latter.
Once the modulator is secured, it may be used to close the rift and save Arcadia and all those in its orbit. There is minimal room for error, Commander.
Soon the consul will answer for his many, many crimes. I have looked forward to this for a long, long time. This place is a nightmare beyond the most fevered delusion. And those soldiers, they do not look right. The consul stands at the controls of the Sovereign's own flagship. How my blood boils.
To be so close. The rift. It's magnificent. When we've done what we came to do, it's finally time. I shall soon be reborn into perfection. Thank you for bringing me here.
Everything's broken here. Wires. Twisted. Landing pad. Dirty.
Manufacturing process. We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate, but none of us can do it alone. Remember, we're all in this together. The skip drive is our legacy. It is our mandate. It is who we are.
We have stepped into the world between life and death.
A Horizon Point Station to determine who introduced the flaw into our perfect skip drive manufacturing process. We must all fulfill our duty to Protectorate, but none of us can do it alone. Remember, we're all in this together. The skip drive is our legacy. It is our mandate. It is who we are.
This is not a death befitting a noble subject of the Protectorate. The thought of meeting a similar fate makes me shudder.
We're all in this together. The skip drive is our legacy. It is our mandate. It is who we are.
Oh, thank God.